Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris, and these are 15 things you might not know about the Elder Scrolls Online. This video is something I wanted to do for quite a while, and I'm sure that anyone watching, be they new players or veterans, will find something they didn't know about ESO. First up, we have the Sanguine Goat, a non-combat pet available in the Crown Store. You might think that this is simply a normal pet, but you would be wrong, because once per week, for roughly 2 in-game days, its eyes will glow dark red to signify the spawning of the vampire blood fiends. These blood fiends are the ones that originally gave players the vampire skill tree, and they can be found in the last zone of each alliance. That means Reaper's March, the Rift, and Bankerai. The locations they spawn in vary, so you may have to check all 3 zones before you find one. But they are usually huddled around in clusters of 2 or 3. Once you have been bitten by a blood fiend, a quest giver will appear near the way shrine of the largest city in the zone your alliance belongs to. So that is Ralka in Reaper's March for Aldmeri, Riften in the Rift for Ebonheart, and Evermore in Bankerai for Daggerfall. Similar to the blood fiends, there is also a trick for knowing when the werewolves spawn, although this one doesn't involve a pet with glowing eyes. If you look up into the sky whenever it is night in a game, you'll be able to find 2 moons, and when both moons are full, that means the werewolves have spawned. They appear in the same locations as the blood fiends, but have different spawn points. The werewolf quest giver will also appear in the largest city of the last zones. If you are a player often wandering the wilds of Cyrodiil, you may at some point have stumbled on this area before, but otherwise it is rare that any fighting would bring you here, despite it being directly south of Blue Road Keep. It may look like a harmless collection of bones, but if you are patient, you'll be able to catch a glimpse of a ghost wandering around this deserted animal graveyard. The ghostly phantom will appear in this area both during the day as well as at night. If anyone knows why he's there, please leave a comment down below. You may have seen these items linked before, or perhaps you had no idea they even existed, but with the introduction of the Homestead update, a furnishing item called a bounty sheet appeared in the game. This item is obtainable only by pickpocketing guards, which is a dauntless venture only recommended for the thieves who have maxed their legerdemain skill line. Most long-time players will know this one, but new players likely won't. If you quick slot a Memento and target a player with it, the effect from the Memento will hit them instead of you. There was a change with the Horns of the Reach update to prevent this unintentional feature, but there are still quite a few Mementos capable of doing this, as you can see right here. If you hate having to click a button 1,000 times because it only increments 1 at a time, then you will like this trick. On the PC you can hold down Shift and it will turn your clicks into increments of 10 instead of 1. I don't know if this is possible to do on consoles though. In some weird mix-up of animations specifically concerning polymorphs, you may find that a female character wearing a polymorph no longer performs female animations, but rather male animations. This is mainly seen in the gender-specific dances, as female characters will be able to perform male dances. Unfortunately for male characters, they are stuck with only being able to do their own gender's emotes, even if they put on a polymorph. Further, there is a trick for female characters wanting to perform male dances, where they can put on a polymorph, initiate a dance, and then remove the polymorph, which doesn't interrupt the emote. To do this trick, you will either need the No Thank You add-on, which prevents the camera from turning when you open your inventory, or you can quick slot the polymorph. This next thing requires a tiny bit of tweaking of a game file, and is only possible to do on the PC. If you have ever thought that the intro videos were too long whenever you load up the game, then this is the solution for you. By going into your documents and finding the Elder Scrolls Online folder, then clicking Live, you will find a file called UserSettings, which you can open with a notepad. After opening it, scroll all the way to the bottom and find a line that says SkipPregameVideos, which is defaulted to 0, which means not active. To turn on this feature, simply change the 0 to a 1 and save the file. The next time you launch your game, you will immediately go to the login screen, bypassing all the intro credits. This trick enables you to expand the playable area of a duel and makes you able to trigger one from very far away. Simply type into your chat box /duel followed by the name of your opponent, either @name or character name, and then hit enter. This feature is especially nice if you want a duel to take advantage of a much larger area than if you were to manually invite someone to a duel through the interact menu up close. Most endgame players and min-maxers will know about this already, but I doubt that most new or casual players are aware that champion points have what is referred to as jump points. This means there will only be an actual increase in the champion point passive when it passes a certain point. For example, putting 49 points into Mighty will give you the same bonus as putting 55 points into it, i.e. 11%. But if you put 56 points into it, the passive will jump to 12%. This means that a lot of points you invest into the various champion point passives may not actually be increasing by the exact percentage stated, although this does not count for all champion point passives, but does count for most of them. I will leave a link to a forum post by @Asair for those interested in finding out how to optimize their champion point setup. Did you know there were quite a lot of items once in game that are no longer possible to get? As an example, have you ever heard of the mercenary contract? This was an item back in the launch of the game which you could purchase from a specific mercenary vendor in Cyrodiil, and when used would spawn a mercenary NPC to guard either a keep or an outpost. For various reasons, and mostly due to exploiting, this feature was removed from Cyrodiil, but you can still find old forum posts about it, which really shines a light on how big of a detriment it was to PvP. Along the vein of items no longer in-game are old provisioning materials, which were removed when the system received an overhaul. There are also essence runes for enchanting mistakenly given to players through hireling mails during 2014. Also around launch were weapons never meant to be available, such as the sword True Flame, which according to some players were acquired from fishing. There are rumors of other weapons being acquirable, but I haven't been able to find any legitimate pictures, but it seems like ZeniMax originally wanted to add Daedric artifacts into ESO, but ended up scrapping that idea for some reason. This next feature allows you to go faster on your mount than normal, but it is not an intentional feature, as stated by the lead animator in a reply to me on the forum back in 2015. By tapping your sprint button, you will be able to go faster than a player who is just holding it down. This means there is an actual use for stamina on a mount, other than to protect you from getting knocked off by enemy attacks. Do note that this is not really possible on mounts without a lot of stamina, as it will drain stamina faster than simply holding down sprint. There is some weirdness with this, however, as it seems to cause a heavy desync, meaning you will see yourself far ahead of someone before you actually pass them on their screen, but it does in fact make you faster. This feature is yet another unintentional one, but also one which can easily be used to exploit. Veteran sorcerer players may recall a way to do several streaks through the air in a row, but also know that this was fixed a long time ago. While I won't show you how this is achievable, I can tell you that it's still possible to do, as you can see in this video, recorded after the release of Morrowind. Obviously I don't condone exploiting, and would never use this to intentionally exploit anything, but I do think it's an interesting thing, which allows you to climb certain structures in cities that are otherwise inaccessible. Have you ever heard of Nirnroot wine? And did you know it's the only memento available from Cyrodiil? You may even have wondered how to get it for your collection. Well, in order to obtain the Nirnroot wine memento, you have to find a specific brewery in the northwest of Cyrodiil. The brewer will give you a quest which has you collect red mountain ash from around Lake Rumare. It is a fairly simple task, but does require quite a lot of traveling and could potentially lead to harmful situations if you are spotted by enemy players. When you finish the quest, however, you will be the owner of a unique wine that is never tasted and never runs out, but always gets you drunk. This has been 15 things you might not know about ESO, And if you enjoyed watching it, please leave a like. Should you have any interesting facts or features that most people don't know about ESO, do leave a comment down below, and I will pin them for others to see. Thank you for watching.